We have had fun talking about the Transformers and the GIJoe, but we seem to have forgotten that this is a shared universe. The bad guys are remade here too, and that means the bad guys have their own new origin stories. Today, we're covering Destro, the literal merchant of death. Welcome back to my YouTube channel where we talk about comic books, stuff and stuff. Now, let's get into it, because a country is having a civil war while the prime minister was enjoying a drink. He was frustrated with the noise and he decided, okay, screw this rebellion, sending out his armed forces to have some fun. But what they didn't expect was a bot simply waiting for them to come out. He wasn't here to deliver no pizzas, no, he was fully weaponized, taking aim at the mercenaries, and so did they. Both of them exchanging shots, but the only difference was he was indestructible and he had perfect aim. And not just that, he was not alone. Raining down from above were multiple bots ready for action. The Prime Minister was wondering, why is it so noisy? He just sent his boys there to scare the people. Unknown to him that the rebellion had gained access to his building, he started to realize that he was screwed. These bots were lethal. They couldn't even comprehend who was their ally. They decimated every single human in sight. They only stopped because their boss was here. Destro was here, calmly walking into this building like he owned it, because he literally just claimed it for himself. Meeting up with the Prime Minister, he said, "Look at you, all fat on the people's wealth. You should have been helping them." But the Prime Minister looked at him and said, "How dare you? A gun runner tell me about honor." But Destro wasn't even offended. He simply said, "Look at him. Behold my cousin. He will be the next Prime Minister. Now, do you want to go on your way, or should I help you?" And the Prime Minister took his meaning and pulled out a gun and said, "I will see you in hell." And Destro smiled. "Yes, you will, because I am the boss. I am the merchant of death." But the merchant of death still had to answer to someone. The Cobra commander was wondering, where were his kill bots? Destro replied that he still wanted to commence some experiments. The bots were killing everybody, but Cobra commander didn't care. "I want my bots now." And Destro was pissed off. "How dare you? Do not speak to me that way. We are working together. I am not one of your subordinates. Watch how you speak to Destro." I like this version. He wasn't nobody's bitch, nobody. Later on, we see Destro crossing the mountains alone. He was walking into the side of building a cave called the Cave of Destro, where his ancestors laid to rest. He came here to show his new discovery, Energon, introduced to him by the Cobra commander, and he was going to use this to take over the world. The world will come to fear the name Destro. But first, he needed money. And so, making sure to confirm the arrival of some very important people, he had his own personal TED Talk, a weapons fair, headed by his cousin. Invitation of world leaders, dictators, and alike were all invited, and he was here to show his newfound technology. But what they wanted to know about was his new mechanical army. But Destro just smiled. That army does not exist. The thing is, this TED Talk was also to find out if anyone else had access to Energon, confirming that he was the only one. He should have been worried about his greatest op, the twins, T-Max and Zaymot. They apparently had their own industries. They were a corporation that run the best mercenaries in the world. But we both know that's a lie, because even if they were the best, they fail sometimes, like they did here. They failed the mission, and just to clean their ass, they ordered their troops to decimate the forces that remained. And I mean literally, they put a bullet in every single injured soldier, decimating the campsite and torturing everything. Zaymot even took it a step further and choked out the surviving soldier that was complaining to them, while his brother called down a ring strike on the Mars Industries fair. This was an attack, uncalled for, unprovoked, and Destro was in absolute shock. Who would dare? We are under attack, sending his own forces to go defend. But even as they defended, they were still losing tanks. $25 million tanks. And to top it all off, some of his guests were enjoying the fireworks way too much. I mean literally, Shorty was enjoying it way too much. She was about to die. Destro had to save her ass. The bomb came down hard, but thankfully it was a dud. This alone was an insult. Destro got up on his 2 feet and shouted, "It would appear I am at war. Let's go. Because you took your first shot and you missed. Now I will hit harder." And just as he was saying that, the twins said it as well. Both companies were at war. Both companies fully equipped for war with an amassed army and weaponry. Both attacking themselves at the same time. Destro attacking a training camp for recruits of the twins organization, and he left no survivors. The twins retaliate by taking down his factory where he was producing his mechanical soldiers. But the twins don't just attack. They don't have the superior technology. They were coming here to scavenge, and Destro will be damned before even a sliver of energon fall into the hands of the twins. He commanded even the unfinished bots to come to life, and they did, like zombies awaking from the dead. They attacked. The flesh was weak compared to mechanics. They decimated the forces of the twins, but the twins were not going down that easy. No, this was a war, a full-blown war. The forces of Destro and the forces of the twins went to war together, and both sides lost a lot. So they decided, okay, let's talk face to face, and they did. Destro coming alone, telling all of them to stand down. The twins, however, didn't want to, and Destro said, "Go ahead. Use your guns. I came here because I'm a man of my word, but do not think me defenseless. The USA has lost a lot of nuclear warheads, and I find them on my spare time. And right now, I have one aimed directly at us." The twins said, "He's lying," but Destro smiled like a madman. "Go ahead. Pull your trigger and die a pitiable death." Realizing that Destro was a madman, they came to an agreement and said, "What are your terms?" And Destro revealed his terms were simple. "Our companies are worth trillions, and this war drawn out will lose us a lot of money. It will be a shame to lose such assets. So let's take this personal. I wish for your death, and you wish for mine. Attack me, not my organization." And they shook on it, wishing both of each other death as they both walked away. For Destro had a plan. He had a location nobody knew. So off the books, it was only the members of the Destro bloodline that knew. The Cave of Destro, deciding to lay low while his assassin does the Lord's work and take out the twins. But what he failed to consider was the fact that the twins led an organization of mercenaries. They had assassins on deck, and as soon as Destro left the meeting, they put one on his tail. One of them had followed him into this place, this holy ground. The chameleon was here, and she was going to take him out and see what color his skull was, if it was chrome or ivory.